This passage presents three contrasting types of material, distinguished in obvious ways. The A material is flowing and legato with wide leaps, marked dolce, legatissimo, scorrevole. The B material is focused into small chromatic clusters amid violent bursts of activity. It's marked giocosamente furioso martellato. The C material, tranquillo ben legato, consists of slowly changing sustained dyads. The materials are presented mostly one at a time, first A, then B, then A again, then C. But there are two brief intrusions of B into A, and C begins before the second statement of A has finished. The music is designed as a portrait in sound of the Italian composer Goffredo Petrassi, who evidently had a somewhat mercurial personality, by turns energetically active, brusque, and quietly contemplative. The A material is mainly concerned with the intervals 3 and 6. Every note in both of the A sections is connected by either 3 or 6 to the note before and or after it. As a result, there are lots of diminished seventh chords, 0, 3, 6, 9. These are sometimes represented by a constituent diminished triad, 0, 3, 6, or even by just a dyad, 0, 3, or 0, 6. In the combinations of these diminished seventh chords, there is always the implication, and in some cases the reality, of octatonic collections. In a similar way, the B section is also concerned with two intervals, 1 and 2. Every note is connected to the note before and or after it by one of those intervals. The larger groupings are often chromatic trichords, 0, 1, 2, or chromatic tetrachords, 0, 1, 2, 3, all within a largely chromatic world. The C section is preoccupied with the two remaining interval classes, 4 and 5. It presents these intervals as slow, sustained dyads. To complete the pattern, I have inserted an implied G above the sustained D. This implied note is provided in the music by a prominent G in the ongoing A section of material. Combinations of 4 and 5 into tetrachords produce forms of set class 0146. This is one of two all-interval tetrachords, so called because they contain one instance of each of the 6 different interval classes. The other all-interval tetrachord is 0137, and we will be making its acquaintance shortly. The 0146 tetrachords in this passage are related by inversion around the two notes shared by adjacent forms. The first and second chords are related by inversion around their shared E-G sharp. The second and third chords are related by inversion around their shared F-B flat. All three forms of 0146 belong to the same octatonic collection, octatonic 1-2. So far, we have imagined the A, B, and C materials as almost completely distinct from each other, both in mood and intervallic focus. The A material uses intervals 3 and 6, 0-3-6 trichords, and diminished seventh chords within an octatonic framework. The B material uses intervals 1 and 2, chromatic trichords, and chromatic tetrachords within a chromatic framework. The C material uses intervals 4 and 5, the 0146 tetrachord, and falls within an octatonic frame. But there are also subtle links among the sections. Let's consider first the links between the B and C material. In the C material, while the vertical dyads 4 and 5 and tetrachords 0146 are distinctive to the C material, the melodic intervals that connect the vertical dyads are all 1 and 2, the melodic intervals of the B material. Conversely, the C material's 0146 and its intervallic partner 0137, the other all-interval tetrachord, play a role in B. Two forms of 0146 are outlined among mostly the highest notes of B, while a form of 0137, the other all-interval tetrachord, is formed by the lowest notes. The highest notes within the first beamed group are E, C, D flat, and F sharp, a form of 0146. These are followed by F sharp, G sharp, C, and B, another form of 0146. At the same time, the lowest notes, D, C sharp, G, B, form 0137, the other all-interval tetrachord. The A material has extensive links with both B and C, links that involve the two all-interval tetrachords, 0146 and 0137. Within the A material, we had been concerned with the dyads 03 and 06, and had grouped them together when they belonged to the same diminished seventh chord. A different perspective on the A material opens up when we consider 03 and 06 that belong to different diminished seventh chords. Tritones abound in the A material, formed either by adjacent notes or separated by a single note. Let's add those minor thirds back in. Every combination of a tritone with a minor third from a different diminished seventh chord produces a form of either 0146 or 0137. These two all-interval tetrachords are the essential building blocks for much of Carter's music. In this passage, there are 19 all-interval tetrachords, all formed by combining a tritone and a minor third from different diminished seventh chords. These 19 0146 and 0137, produced by combinations of 03 and 06 belonging to different diminished seventh chords, can be traced on an appropriate musical space. The nodes of the space are the 6 tritones and the 12 minor thirds. The connecting lines join them to produce one of the all-interval tetrachords. In general, the music begins by creating all-interval tetrachords that refer to the tritone C F sharp, the music then moves away and finally back toward its starting point. The all-interval tetrachords in the B and C sections, although not partitioned into 03 and 06, can also be located in this space. All of the all-interval tetrachords in the B and C sections have already been prefigured in the A section. The contrasting sections are thus linked in subtle ways. And that brings us back to the mercurial Signor Petrassi. His personality, as depicted musically in this piece, has obvious contrasts and seeming incongruities. But to a sympathetic friend, like Elliott Carter, the disparate parts are understood to harmonize together within an attractive whole.